Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Admiral Markets webinar. Today is 8th of October 2015. My name is Nerad. Chris is with us, and we're gonna be talking about setting up trading room and your own peace of mind. I will focus today on a thing which I have already promised you to do, and those are binaural beats. So we will talk a lot more today about binaural beats. And before I begin, as always, standard risk disclaimer. Risk disclosure statement explaining all possible risks associated with Forex market. By accepting the risk, you're also proceeding further with us. Online educational materials are developed by Admiral Markets as Estonia for a global audience. If you want to get a corresponding information on charting conditions and every other detail, you should visit admiralmarketsglobal.com, then select your country and contact an appropriate entity. Admiral Markets UK Ltd will take no responsibility for information accuracy. This is my opinion and Chris' opinion also, and you should know that Forex is risky business, and the webinar is for informational and educational purposes only. By logging in into your trader's room, I strongly suggest to download Admiral Market Supreme Edition, which will enhance your trading and definitely it will empower it. Admiral Markets is officially best MT4 broker, so all of us are in good hands and we are officially trading with best MT4 broker. Okay. Today's agenda: trading room, eye strain and hardware, binaural beats and how does it work, and additional tips. So this will be my part of the webinar and Chris will take over once I finish. So trading room, how to set up your trading room. Trading room should be isolated from the noise, definitely. You can trade wherever you wish as long as your trading room fulfills some criteria. It can be in your own house or apartment. If it's not, of course, possible, then rent an office. It's hard to trade just from laptop. You need to set up a trading room so it efficiently can do the job for you. So no laptop only. You can do that, but only if you are far from your trading room. For example, you're traveling, you have your system, but it's definitely not so good as if you're trading from your office or from your apartment where you have a separate room for trading. This is a representation of a square room, and basically this is where you should sit. Your monitor should be in front of you. Your computer and keyboard should be here. Those are speakers. Speakers should make a triangular path. So this is a triangular pattern, and your speakers should definitely be pinpointing to your ears. Definitely, I recommend using a headset. You can have a couch here. This is how my trading room looks like. It's very simple. Monitors, keyboards, speakers, headphones, air condition, window 1, window 2, couch. So basically this room should be isolated from external noise. Your headset should also be isolating the noise. It should be noise cancelling headset. For that, gaming headsets are very good. And also you should have a couch beside you. For example, if you want to take a nap or something, you can do it. It's always advisable to be fully relaxed before you start to trade. Also, it will allow your binaural beats to surge completely through your body. Okay. The question is, may I ask how you set up 3 monitors? Is it monitoring all the pairs? Basically, I had 3 monitors. Now I'm using 2 because I really don't need the third monitor. But the thing is, yes, if you have, let's say, 3 monitors, 1 monitor is for monitoring all the pairs and other 2 are for trading. At this point, I don't need a third monitor because I can monitor that from my second monitor and trade from my first monitor. And no TVs, no TVs, Konstantin, because if you use a TV, it can basically clog. There is something which I follow last let's say 5 to 6 years. It's called electromagnetic influence. and basically there are some electromagnet waves which surge through the room. It's not very advisable to have a lot of these uh, gadgets in your training room. So only those necessities. So all power surges, all those gadgets, including monitors and computer, uh, do emit intramagnetic and electromagnetic fields, which can make basically which can make you to have a headache. So because of that, it's always advisable not to use as many gadgets as you can fill up the room with. So only most important news. Bloomberg or Sky News, you can monitor it from your web browser. Okay, there is a Bloomberg TV, and you can do that. Everything can be monitored from internet at this point. So I don't see why would you use a TV. Also, it's not that important that you have news in that right moment, because there are a lot of websites, including Forex Live, which are monitoring what happens in current market conditions. So in that particular occasion, I use only, of course, my web browser, my internet connection, and I do monitor a couple of those sites. One of it is surely Forex Live, where I can get a real-time information. What is also important is, now I don't have it prepared, but one of our webinars we can also include how to avoid electromagnetic interference, because it can really cause to have a headache. It can also cause you to have a bad sleep, which is not advisable if you want to trade. There are a couple of things you can do to improve your quality of life during your trading day hours, but I will talk just for one of those, and it's binaural beats, definitely. Okay, this is how my training room looks like. It's not clogged up. It's very simple. So at this point, I'm using two monitors. You can have third monitor, speakers pinpointing to my ears, triangular pad, keyboard. Of course, this is also UPS, two internet connections, air conditioning, two windows, and a couch. Okay, windows should be open for a fresh air always. If you cannot allow window to be open, then use air conditioning. You need a fresh air, definitely. Chair should be as comfortable as it can be and should cushion a lumbar part of the spine. You should not lie on your chair. You should sit. I have here a slide how it should look like. So try to grab a professional chair. If you're sitting more than 8 hours per day, it will definitely help you. You don't need more than 3 monitors. I'm not sure why other people have 6 or 7 monitors. Maybe they need it, but in order to trade successfully, to make money, you can do that really with 1, 2 monitors. For best feeling, for the best feeling, I used 3 monitors, but at this point, I really need only 2. The room should not be tight, too tight that you cannot breathe, that you cannot have a gasp of fresh air. You should always air condition your room, and it should always be fresh, always. You need to feel comfortable. Remember, your trading room is your trading space, okay? So you need to feel comfortable. It's your own space. Believe me, it's your very own space. So sometimes when I during my day job, which is, that is analyzing, trading, education, I really don't allow anyone but my dog to enter a room. And my dog is always here with me, almost every single time. And basically that is also a good thing if you have a pet. Chris has a cat, I have a dog. Basically it really keeps a positive energy flowing into your body. My brother also lives in Sweden. He lives in Stockholm, and he told me that there is a law in Sweden which oblige you should always do that. So basically you're obliged to take your dog with you in your office, and you have an hour of free time to walk your dog out during your day job. So it's actually a great thing, guys. So Sweden is really it's a highly valued social country, highly valued social country. It's one of rare countries which allow for your pet to come with you in your office, and you have an hour of your time to walk it out. And Norway, indeed, Norway, Sweden, all those Scandinavian countries are really very advanced, and I really appreciate their laws, especially I say UK and Scandinavia, Germany. Those are really strong countries. Especially Scandinavia, it's Norway, Sweden. I think maybe Finland also. There is a law that it definitely helps you and your pets. And Carolyn is saying in Romania, the idiot government gives laws to kill dogs brutally. Well, I don't support it because, I have a dog. I always had a dog, and I would never ever harm an animal. That's totally contrary to my nature. Totally. So, well, Scandinavian countries have always been, I can say, a forward in time, and it's actually a great thing, and that's what I really like. And well, it's always up to you. It's always up to you. Uh, you should always try to feel as comfortable as you can. So if you want to, let's say, take your trading buddy with you, if you have a wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, it doesn't matter. Let it him or her be with you if it makes you comfortable. It doesn't matter if you're feeling good, then great, if you as long as you don't harm others, it's always good. And Konstantin is saying there are countries where we have capital controls. Yes, indeed, I agree. Greece, I know. uh, Jack is saying my dog sleeps helps me by sleeping on your bed, probably. Yes, indeed. Animals are really the best friends indeed. So, guys, this is what you should definitely have in your training room, and this is how your chair and your position should look like, your body position. So, pay attention to the slide: elbow angle, wrist angle, lumbar part. Okay, lumbar part is very important because if you don't sit correctly, it can hurt your back. This is your sit back angle. Do not lie on your chair. Chair is not for lying on it. It's your couch or your bed if you need to take a nap. It's always good to take a nap. Okay, because laws in European Union advise that you should always try to use a siesta. I'm not sure that all countries allow it, but there are countries that provide you with 1 hour siesta, so you can basically take a nap during your day job, because it's a good thing, because then you can be more productive, and I also support that. So viewing angle is this, viewing distance is this. This is your screen height. Do not put your monitors too high or too low, definitely. And yes, Raymond is saying tables where you can choose to stand or sit are good. Definitely. You can also grab a table where you can choose to stand or sit. This is table height. This is seat pan height. So you see where the bottom of the table should be pinpointed at, exactly your stomach, basically where is your elbow rest. Okay, so this is what happens when you don't sit correctly. Your lumbar part can be wrong. You see, this is not a good thing because this will hurt you. Definitely, this will hurt you. So don't do it. Don't sit like this. Okay, I always get up occasionally and walk. How I use my break: I usually go out and run. I usually run in between 1.5 to 3 kilometers. So that is what I love to do. That is my break. I don't eat during my break. I run. If you feel tired, go out on fresh air. Definitely, this is what you should do. And do eye strain relief exercises. Always do eye strain relief exercises. I have glasses, basically eyeglasses, which are helping me to have not to have eye burn, how we call it. Basically, if you're staring too often, and if you're staring more than 5 hours in continuity in your monitors, you can have sore eyes, you can have red eyes, eye burns, and basically this is what you should always try to avoid. That is why I use eyeglasses which blocks harmful blue rays from your LCD monitors. You can grab it over the internet, you can buy it. It cost me some, I think 20-25 euros, so they're not expensive, and they really do help me. They really do help me. So if you were listening to Chris and my interview with Dale Pinkert, our last interview, I used my camera so you can actually look how my glasses look like. Yes, you should try to blink normally even more when you watch monitors. And yes, indeed, we do not blink when we are focused on something. So you should always try to blink. It helps your eyes to stay wet, and it's very, very important. And Tavi is saying, I truly recommend investing in a good chair. Think about that you will spend there half of your day. Indeed, I always invest in my chairs. For example, if I feel that my chair is not that comfortable, I usually give my chair to my friends. My old chairs I usually really I like to give it as a gift to my friends, and I always buy new chairs if I feel that it's not comfortable, because more than half of my day I spend there, and it's very, very important. And this is very important. Occasional walks, fresh airs, do eye strain reliefs. Okay, minimize the glare, so use anti-glare screen or anti-glare eyeglasses as I do. Adjust your display settings. Use proper lighting. Use LCD or IPS monitors. Blink more often. Do eye exercise. Use computer eyewear. Okay, eyeglasses. Head up, eyes down. Guys, head up, eyes down. This is very important. 65 centimeters or 25 inches is the optimum distance. And do change your position and move occasionally. Okay. Now, about hardware, strong PC is recommended, Core i5 or i7, especially if you're trading range bars, because your charts can freeze. Keep up your PC healthily, as it might be slow. Use those cleaners which can remove the junk from your computer. Good power supply always. 25 or 27-inch monitors, definitely. Good strong table for holding up the components. 2 speakers. I use M Audio, very good speaker set. Small professional speaker set, M Audio. Then you should use a good headset. I recommend gaming headsets. External disk drive always. UPS, very important, because it can keep your power running and your computers running due to power outage or black or brownouts. Okay. Good stable connection, cable connection, guys. Wireless connection is not that good. Cable connection is much better. I use additional ADSL router for backup emergency. So I have set up 2 internet in my trading office. I have a cable connection. I have also an ADSL connection. Laptop always, tablet, it's useful, and definitely mobile phone with MT4 installed. Ella is asking, regarding the brightness of the monitor, what is better for your eyes, higher brightness or lower? If you use a proper lighting in your apartment or office, then higher brightness is recommended. I always try to light up my room, because if you are staring at the monitor, which is indeed bright, you should always have a bright backlight. The only exception is if you use eyewear. If you use eyewear, eyeglasses, just for not standard eyeglasses, which which are used by people who are having problems with sight. Not those eyeglasses. Special computer eyeglasses, which are used for only for protection, eye protection. Okay, so those are glasses, computer eyewear. So that is what can help you. It doesn't matter then if your monitor is bright or no or dull, because those eyeglasses will help you definitely. For 3 monitors, what video and graphic card required? Try to grab a good NVIDIA card. Gamer, always, guys, gaming configurations are always the best. Indeed, I know that from my trading career, when I use really a strong configuration, which can be set a gaming configuration, I never have problems with slowdowns, with freezes, without anything. I have, for example, the average price of a good, I think for a good configuration with 2 monitors, 2,000 euros is good price, indeed. So yes, always gaming configurations are always working the best. Gaming cards, NVIDIA, of course, Intel processors. I use Windows 10 at this point, which is actually a great thing. I love it. So it really helps me. I don't have any problems with my PC. Really, there are no problems. Karen is saying Mortal Kombat guy here. Yes, indeed, Mortal Kombat. Let's try to be sub-zeros with our trading. So if you're sub-zero with your trading account, it's double-edged sword, sub-zero. I hope that you won't be sub-zero, above zero always. Okay, now we can talk about binaural beats and how does it work, guys. I promised you that I will do really binaural beats presentation. So let's start with binaural beats now. Okay, so binaural beats. What are binaural beats? Okay, so when signals of 2 different frequencies, sounds are present, one to each ear, the brain detects phase differences between these signals. Okay, so now pay attention. Brain processes this information differently when these phase differences are heard. A perceptual integration of the 2 signals is perceived in the brain, producing the sensation of a third beat. The binaural beat is perceived as a fluctuating rhythm at the frequency of the difference between the 2 auditory inputs. Okay, keep it simple. So when 2 different signals, 2 different frequency signals are presented, one to each ear, the brain detects phase differences between these signals, guys. Okay, it's normal thing. It's very, very normal thing, and it's good thing. Okay, so that is a simple explanation of a binaural beat. The requirement are that the tone is heard well enough and that is below about 1000 hertz. Below 1000 hertz, the wavelength of the human skull is sufficiently small so that the sound waves curve around it and the binaural beat appears to come from within. Researchers discovered that the brain produced this third low frequency, okay, and that opened a whole new world of possibilities and healing. Now we can speculate about this because that is definitely true. Even Rudolf Steiner, scientist who lived 100 years ago, so basically you can find some books from Rudolf Steiner. He also speculated that music is a natural supporter of healing, and he called music from healing eurythmia. So basically eurythmia is also some sort of healing with music. As you know, my hobby is astrophysics and quantum science. So that is my hobby, which I also follow. And the thing is, you know that I always say that different things are interconnected in our universe. Basically, through our space-time and universe, there are a lot of different waves we cannot hear. Some of those waves are coming from the space itself, and those waves are basically, and those interference is also pulsating through our auras and our bodies. If we try to connect our perceptual organs, such as, of course, most important, brain, we are able to use those natural waves which are omnipresent in space and turn it into our advantage. Binaural beats originate in the brainstem superior olivary nucleus. That is the area of the brain which controls aspects of three-dimensional sound perception. Okay, three-dimensional sound perception. Now, I cannot go too deep because it may sound a little bit too complicated. For example, if you use four-dimensional aspect of our being, we also need to know that gravity, that time equals to gravity. So there is a four-dimensional aspect of our beings. Now, we are using three-dimensional aspect because our brain is perceptual organ. It's programmed to feel a three-dimensional sound perception. Now, the superior olivary nucleus bridges the difference between varying frequencies in binaural beats, and it gives us audio hallucination in an attempt to normalize this audio into something our brains can understand. Now, the Monroe Institute, you can Google it, Monroe Institute, suggests that the binaural beat is neurologically conveyed to the reticular formation, which uses neurotransmitters to initiate changes in brainwave activity. Okay, in brainwave activity. So if you have, for example, your left ear is hearing 100 hertz sound, your right ear is hearing 120 hertz sound, that will produce a binaural beat of 20 hertz. Okay. Now, types of brainwaves which are produced by binaural beats are beta brainwave, alpha brainwave, theta brainwave, delta brainwave, and gamma brainwave. Beta brainwaves oscillate between 14 Hz and 32 Hz. Those are focused brainwaves. So beta brainwaves are produced when we are wide awake, alert, active, and engaged in mental activity. This is brainwave for the fight-flight response. It increases concentration and alertness. It gives us a sense of improved logic, reasoning, and critical thinking, guys. Okay, very, very important. It gives us a feelings of anxiety, stress, and unfocused thoughts. Okay, but it helps eliminate these feelings. Alpha brainwaves oscillate between 7 Hz and 14 Hz, and that means that we are relaxed yet aware, meditative. Those are lower frequency waves. The state is generated when our thoughts are really not focused and our minds wander freely. Alpha is considered the bridge between conscious mind and subconscious mind. Theta brainwaves are in between 3.5 Hz and 7 Hz. Those are deep relaxation waves used in meditation for centuries and helps expand visualization and creativity. Delta brainwaves oscillate between 0.1 and 3.5, and that is a deep sleep condition. Okay, those are slowest of band of waves, and they occur when we are in deep dreamless sleep. Very beneficial for the body, which restores and heals itself when it's in that state. And gamma brainwaves, 40 Hz or higher, it's a mind mastery. It is the frequency that brings the ability to process large amounts of information in relatively small amounts of time. They are definitely most rapid in frequency. Do not forget what Thomas Dekker said. Sleep is the golden chain that ties health and our bodies together. Remember that. So beta brainwaves, those features, this is the brainwave for the fight-flight response. increased concentration, improved logic. It eliminates feelings of anxiety, stress, and unfocused thoughts. Alpha brain waves increase memory retention, concentration, and focus for learning, alleviate stress and depression, can reduce brain pressure, and also it can reduce blood pressure. It increases motivation, energy, and happiness. Theta brain waves increase sense of inner peace and emotional stability, deep relaxation, improved memory, speed healing, and improved physical healing. It definitely gives us a better sleep and more restful sleep. It reduces mental fatigue and stress. For example, if I'm too tired and I'm really tired to do anything, but I know that I need to be focused, I need to make a good analysis, but I'm too sleepy, I need to make a good trade and I'm too sleepy, I tend to go on my couch, listen to theta brain waves and relax. Okay? And also, very often, I use alpha brain waves. I will give you the link so you can use it. Delta brain waves, human growth hormone is increased. It's anti-aging hormone due to stimulation of pituitary gland. Human growth hormone helps heal physical pain. It do an overall goodness to your body. It increases empathy, understanding, and compassion for others. Okay, and finally, gamma brain waves. It promotes self-control. For example, if you are really eager to overtrade, if you really want to do revenge trading, then use gamma brain waves. Focus on that. Promotes self-control, promotes greater than average feelings of happiness. It increases awareness and increases compassion for others. Now, these groups should not use it. People who have history of seizures, children, pregnant women, and people with heart problems or with a pacemaker. So those groups should never use it. Okay, this is the link to full-length binaural's YouTube channel, and definitely it can be good to you to listen to this. This is that link. Okay, this is the link, and you can see it here. This is YouTube channel, full-length binaurals. It gives you really full of those waves, theta, alpha, beta, and you can use it to your advantage. It uses some colors for additional stimulation, but try to grab a good headset and focus. This is a good channel, full-length binaurals. Okay, and try to listen to it. It will help you, but pay attention to this. So this is full-length binaurals. It's free, of course, YouTube channel. Now, additional tips are for setting up your trading room. Have both Ethernet and wireless connection. Connect your router to UPS. Use Admiral Market Supreme Edition. Have your mobile ready and listen to the music. Try to relax, guys. Always try to relax. And don't forget, if you're really tired, if you're not focused, if you're afraid, if you're emotionally deprived, if you're feeling anxious, and nothing is helping you, give this a chance. Grab a headset and try to relax. Try to relax. It's a good thing. Okay, this was my part of the webinar. Chris will continue. If you have any questions, you can ask us, of course. So Chris, you may continue. And do not forget that this is all what we are teaching you is from our personal experience. So there is also a program called GN Oral. I think GN Oral, it's free for Android users. So even you can install that on your Android phone and use it if you don't have a good headset. But I always definitely recommend a good headset. Okay. What would be the minimum listing of binaural beats? Okay, try to use the website which I showed you, and basically just go through that website. It uses different time perspectives, so some of those It's usually 1 hour long. So I think 1 hour is the optimal for binaural beats. So you see, it's almost an hour every clip. Some clips are uh, definitely 15 minutes in time. You see 15 minutes, and some on 1 hour. So basically, it depends from brainwave. So try to use this website. It's good. It's a YouTube full-length binaurals. Okay, Chris, you may continue. I already taken some of your time. Guys, any questions are welcome, and feel free to use it.
Thank you so much. That was really interesting about everything, in fact, and the binaural beats is something that I'm going to take a look at. It's not something I'm doing right now, but I already told Nana that I'm going to take a look in the weekend probably, or sometime soon in any case. I'm going to talk about the trading room and setting yourself up as well. Basically, what I would like to talk about is perhaps having goals for the day and what those goals should be, and also about how to mentally tackle the trading day so that we have a balanced kind of day and that we're also fully kind of satisfied, we're not maybe satisfied, but we're in check. We're not like emotionally disbalanced. We're not you know, in the evening after trading still thinking about what terrible decisions or what kind of risk we've over lost. You know, we want to have a balance that we can still have a life where after trading we can enjoy it and we're not, you know, going back into the trading day, thrown back into trading day and reliving everything and thinking about all the over-risking situations. And we want to have a balanced trading day and also trading afterlife, like after, I mean, in the sense that we have a normal evening or weekend. So to gain that, to get that, we want to have basically make sure that we have sufficient capital to trade the next day, which means we have to be defensive. We have to protect our capital and our mental capital. So that's the goal 1 and 2, defend trading capital, defend mental capital. The third thing is, in fact, is that therefore we want to, when we are approaching the day, first of all, make sure that we not necessarily think about profits right away, but we're trying to actually just make sure that we don't lose too much, right? That we are making sure that whatever we're doing is not over aggressive, is not over risking, that we are not expecting to make right away on the top of the first trade 500 pips or 100 pips, or we want to approach it with a realistic kind of mindset. So on good days, we of course get some profit. We let those winners run, and but we don't want to necessarily expect it day in, day out. It's not you know, the standard that we always want to have, because then we are actually shooting too high. And when we have that high goals for any day, often enough we're going to be disappointed for not reaching them. And if we're disappointed, we're going to be over aggressive, over trading, over revenge trading, because we want to get to those goals. We're kind of pressuring ourselves to get there. Whereas if we set targets a bit lower on purpose, right, we're kind of like taking off the internal pressure on ourselves, and everything after that or more than that is like a bonus, right? So by setting lower goals in a way, you are not going to mount up that much dissatisfaction that translates in all the kind of bad emotions and bad decisions. Alrighty. So what do we need for that peace of mind? First of all, we want to set up clear parameters, which means the best thing is to do is just risk a certain percentage of that capital for that day, so that we know whatever happens, you know, you're going to lose 1%, 2%. It depends what you choose, how risky, how aggressive you want to be. But whatever that choice is, whatever you're going to choose, make sure that you feel comfortable with losing that. If you feel comfortable with losing 1%, go with that. If you feel comfortable with losing 2%, go with that. All right. Now, if you're going for higher numbers, like anything above 5 is high, in my opinion. then obviously you're going to be prepared that you could have a serious drawdown. If you're okay with that because it's, for whatever reason, a very aggressive account building strategy, fine. But choose something that you really are okay with at the end of the day, that you're not, okay, you're bummed out a bit, everyone is, but you're not totally down and out and almost depressive from that day, because we want to be ready for the next day. The next day will offer new opportunities, new trading setups, and if we're still engaged in yesterday because of what happened, we're not ready to trade. We're not going to be optimal, get optimal performances from from ourselves, from our mental focus and physical focus. Maybe we sleep bad because of that. The consequences of one day on the next day are very interconnected. As Nana was talking about interconnections in the universe, so is time also in a way, because if we have a very heavy impact experience on one day, we're going to feel a headache, we're going to feel lousy actually the next day. And it might be even better to skip trading that day, but how many people will be able to do that? Hopefully you would, but it's better to avoid it first of all. You want to have clear parameters of number of trades, number of setups you take, and basically you want to spread that risk over the setups that you think to be taking that day. I mean, if you're looking to risk 3% and you don't want to have more than 6 losses in a row, so you could take 0.5% per trade. 6 losses in a row would mean the day is over for that. That trading day is completed for you, and you can trade within those parameters, right? Time. When do you start, when do you stop, and when do you exit? Obviously, you can be hunting for trades in the New York session between 2 and 5 p.m., let's say, but you might still want to manage the trade after 5. You don't maybe want to exit the trade necessarily, but when would you want to exit at the maximum? Could be before you go to bed or before you stop looking at the PC. And also you want to keep an eye on your emotions or behavior in a way. So it's kind of a self-reflection there. You would need to imagine a camera looking at yourself and saying, okay, how am I really behaving? Is it corresponding to the posture and movements that are connected to a trader that has a positive attitude? Or do I sit in a way that I don't believe in the trade as well? It's maybe a small thing, but if we monitor our behavior, we can catch moments where we start to maybe get tired, where we get to be sloppy in our focus, or we have self-talk that's negative. We can do that, for instance, every trade we take. We can do it at the start of the session, halfway the session, 3/4 of the session. Obviously, the further we get into the trading session, probably the better it is to check. At the beginning, most of the time, we're a bit fresher. I mean, you could do that like this. You can take a sheet like this, and you can say, what time is it? Write down what your posture is. Are there any distractions? What is your energy? What are your actions or thoughts? And the 5% is like, do I have that extra push, focus in a way that I'm on top of things? And am I really fully engaged here? Is this something that, do I have everything in the ball game here that puts me fully in focus? So you can write down that during trades, during, I don't know, every hour or every 30 minutes, make an evaluation afterwards. Is there any connection between how you felt or reacted at that point when you took the trade and the outcome of your trade? All right, and you can write, some achievements, what you think was good for the day, what you thought could have been better for the day. It's just a typical evaluation material. All right. So that's basically, the previous one was having parameters, because if you have parameters and the parameters you set up are ones that you feel comfortable with and you stay within those parameters, then you have nothing to beat yourself up for. All right, so the next thing is having a mindset / having a good mindset, but also having a positive mind. Bit two different things. First of all, having a good mindset, I mean, is having realistic expectations. Not every day is going to be as fantastic. Some days could be even a loss. And it's better not to have overly aggressive targets on a trading day. I'm not saying that at the end of the year that your targets have to be low as well. I think those are two different things. A yearly target, a quarterly target could be very aggressive in my opinion, because they're not tied to any day-to-day kind of actions. But from a daily perspective, it's better to be modest, I think, personally, because we never know what a trading day will bring. And when we look at a quarter or a year, we're looking at many of those days, and then our edge should play out in the long term. But on one day, we're not sure. And by over targeting, reaching for the skies on one day, as I said, we're going to put ourselves in a difficult spot. And what could happen on one day is an emotional roller coaster that causes a massive drawdown, which means we'll never reach those long-term targets at all. If we manage to, day by day, be consistent and disciplined in our risk and our approach, we've already won half the battle, because in that case, we make sure that the downside is covered, and any good day helps build towards that long-term target. Do you see what I mean? Make sure that the bad days are not that bad, and occasionally we'll get those good days. And if we're not getting those good days in a quarter, well, then you know at least it wasn't your risk management. You know at least it wasn't your psychology. But then you might want to look at strategy. You might want to look at your approach, your analysis. But only then do you know that, because otherwise it always could be the psychology. It could always be the risk management. We have to make sure that that's flat, as solid as a rock before we can make real good conclusions and before we can get to those long-term targets. It's better to be defensive in a day, in your attitude, and of course when you're trading, I'm not saying that when you have to take a setup, that's not defensive, but I mean your attitude towards the targets of that day. Now, once you get hitting targets, it's a bit of a cycle that gives confidence, boosts confidence, and it kind of snowballs a bit. You want to be careful, too, that it doesn't snowball too far, because you don't want to feel totally inconvincible, because it could boomerang right back at you and hit you in the head. So you want to always maintain the reality and be, with the 2 feet underground. But it does, hitting targets and getting some upside days, being sometimes just very disciplined and ending maybe with a small minus, but knowing that yesterday was a good day still is a very good feeling, because you know that you're working on the long-term plan. And it's just like anything else when you are learning something, in the sense that if you are getting into the habit of doing this, minimizing drawdown, hitting some good days, hitting your targets, and weekly or monthly targets, you get a boost of confidence, right? But on the bad days, you're maintaining that discipline. If that becomes a pattern and that becomes a habit, it will be easier to implement. The most difficult is the beginning, because it's just, it's not a routine as yet. Once it's a routine, it just becomes a bit easier. Then the other part is the positive thinking. I mean, we talked about it more often, and it's good. It takes time. It's good to have what Nana does with the neural beats, or to have messages around you with uh, reinforcement messages about trading, that you'll follow the trading plan, that you'll be in control of your risk. And having a positive environment will impact on our own perception. Having a positive self-talk is good too. So, and regarding the brain, having water, food, movement, indeed, as Nenad said, rest, removing those distractions, getting focused, getting in the flow is good too. I mean, obviously, if you're tired, headaches, it doesn't help trading. So we need to have that focus, and we can get that with these things. I drink definitely a good amount of water, for instance. Right? I should do some more movement, though. That's something I definitely have to be a bit more disciplined. And that's my weakness. It's just easy for me to keep sitting in a chair. And but I do now have at least some structure that I do some movement. I do some walks and an exercise, but I should do more stretching at home too. So I have to still improve it. It's better than the past. I still have to do more. Distractions. Well, I think pretty good on my side. I sometimes do get distracted. I have cats at home. They sometimes jump before the computer. They want food sometimes. But I mean, that's sometimes also pleasant distraction. Not always. Email is a bit of a weakness for me. Kind of tend to check it all the time, but should not do that. But if you're looking at the market, you're waiting for a setup. You've done the analysis. Then obviously where's the border between distraction or just using your time effectively? That's always a bit difficult. As long as you think that you've done your homework, you've done you've done your charting, and that's it, and you're just monitoring what's going on for trade management or for hunting for a setup, then as long as you can handle it, I guess multitasking is not apparently the best apparently, but I would say then it's possible. All right, then we can do the market prep work, which means, as you know, news events, taking the time to do the analysis, reading your trading plan, making sure that everything is clear, what you do, when, how, where. Having a good, and maybe even a rough idea about your lot size based on your stop loss averages, and then you can still be a bit more precise about what risk you take with the actual trade. Knowing where your triggers are, when you want to act and react. Know what your edge is. Maybe even use alarms for monitoring. That helps, if possible. Alrighty. Then the discipline and consistency. This slide is not totally okay. Yeah, not the easiest of things, but I already talked about it in fact. But then again, as I said, you want to focus on charting and focus on trading. But if you're already in a trade, then you might want to actually step back a bit, have some distraction, because otherwise you might screw up. We might start playing around with the trade at a totally wrong spot that's way too early. More often than not, because of nervousness and things maybe not going our way or whatever reason. So sometimes a proper distraction will help us with the trade. Walking the dog, as Nanda talked about, could be a brilliant thing for hanging on to a swing trade that goes 60, 70, 80 pips. Might be very tough without the dog. I don't have a dog. I don't have that excuse to go outside, but I do go for walks, at least when the weather is okay, and it isn't -5. And any case, whatever your distraction is, it's good to have sometimes a distraction, in fact, in certain circumstances, right? Having an emotional exit plan, I think, is a good thing. As I said, monitoring the behavior so that we try to get that consistency. And everything that we say or do in this webinar, in fact, it's all about what you do with it. I mean, we can talk here for 3 hours. It's not really going to help that much if you don't implement at least some of these things. Obviously, we're talking and talking and talking, but it's then up to you. You know, what parts do you think could help you? What do you really want to focus on? Might be too much to do all at the same time. Take the ones that you really want to prioritize and work on it. That's of course doing is where we get to the goal. It's a constant actually circle and cycle, I would say, with discipline, consistency, and it's a feedback loop constantly when we're trading. It's a constant feedback loop. So we're trying to all the time not lean but learn and improve. Point 4, where we remember those lessons. But we don't want to hang on to that. We don't want to become a baggage with on our shoulders. We want to learn, but then we also want to have a fresh new day where we can tackle the markets as if we're a kid again. So you want to have that balance where you're old and wise, looking at the day back and learning from it and soaking in all those lessons. But then the next day, we also want to make sure that we have kind of a fresh and spirited mindset, optimistic, positive kind of view about what we can do with a healthy doses of realism added to it. Almost sounds like a cooking program now, and you know, because otherwise we just get bogged down in negativity, and it's going to be a negative spiral. That's not good at it. We want to learn, but then also forget the next day. Now, Ned had already talked a lot about these things, and so I'm not going to be able to add too much about this. I think maybe one thing though is whatever your trading room is, I think it's probably the best to, or important, to find a setup that's suitable for how you feel, if you feel pleasant, how your psychology and personality is. You know, that's up to you how you would like it. I mean, there could be a lot of differences. There are certain things that maybe cannot be much different from a health point of view. Then it has very good points about the chair, the distances, and stuff like that. From that point of view, we don't have much choice because that's just the healthiest. But I would say there are different. We can still play around with some differences at times to create something we like the most. It really depends on our energy level, how we want to set up things in our room. I mean, we might find it more pleasant if the room is darker or lighter. It really there could be big differences. Obviously, there's a point where a certain level of light is just healthy for our eyes, right? But maybe we can still play around that average. So there are a lot of things to consider when making a trading room. I mean, what do you want to have on the wall, even? You want to have a poster of something that you want to, of a goal that you have in mind for trading to motivate yourself. That's good. Why not? Positive, you know, a dashboard where you hang in notes with your trading plan and positive messages. That's what I have on the left of me. I have in front of me the living room, and I have behind me a wall. And I like that because I like having the wall behind me because it gives me a sense that apparently it's nice to have a wall behind you from a psychological point of view because unconsciously you know that there are walls behind you, so that you're unconsciously you're still a bit worried if your back is towards the center of the room, because not maybe that you're really aware of it, but still you think that what is behind me in a way. And if you have a wall, you know it's solid, nothing can surprise you. So I feel very relaxed. I like that setup where the desk, where I'm looking into a space, into the living room, actually looking at 2 windows as well. And I can, you know, see the opposite side of the road with the buildings there. So I like that feeling. I got a desk that is has a bit of a curve in it. All right. Could be maybe a bit bigger, but it's fine. It has three screens, and I have an opening on the right so I can walk out. Left is more or less closed, and also a wall. So I'm in a corner, really, in a corner office. What could be better, right? Corner office is the best. And in front of me, I have TV. I don't have it on too often though, or yeah, rarely actually. And yeah, the living room has a couch, so if I wanted to. But I'm not really someone that does breaks like that. If I take a break, it's mostly an active break, either going for lunch or for a walk, or meeting perhaps my a friend or my dad. I don't typically take resting breaks like that. I think I'm too, I don't know, I can't have that take that time or ease somehow. I don't know. That's just me. And it probably could be better. But as I said, everyone has their own uh, preferences, and so you want to find something that's customized to what you find good regarding color, space, even temperature, sounds, music, lamps, windows, a lot of things in a way. And you might want to think about communication. I mean, in the sense that trading, of course, most of us do it at home or not, at least in an office with other traders. It could be in an office, but it could be in an office where you're having another job and you can't talk about trading. So it's good to have a trading group. It's good to be in touch with other traders, just from a perspective that you can talk about what happened. You can give feedback to each other. You can even have assign someone to be a boss for a month and rotate that and have sessions and have accountability groups so that you can talk after 2 weeks like, okay, I said 2 weeks ago I'm going to achieve this. I didn't because, or I did because. So you have a peer group to discuss things. You might also even want to try to hook up with a mentor or become a mentee. Doesn't matter if you're only trading 1.5, 2 years, or even a year. There's someone who's starting out there who's been trading a week. You, with a year, you could even do, learn things to a person who just started a week because you know more. That's nothing wrong with that. That's good because when you teach someone, you will learn again. You will go through the things that you thought you knew, but you'll go through a second and third time. And that's only reinforcing and making you stronger and making you better. Alrighty, so that's about it. I think regarding charts and profiles, to make your trading experience a bit better, you can use profiles, right? So you can group strategies together at the bottom of the chart. You can do that here. Oh, here you can make profiles. This is called Item Markets Bands. You can make different ones here, as you can see. I have 6 groups at the moment, and I can scroll between them. You can click on this tab, make smaller windows in your MT4 so you can see multiple pairs as well. All right. Yeah, that's it. Let's see, we've got a question. You have to win money first in order to set up a program. Yeah, I mean, definitely if you want something that's very high-end, very luxurious, then it's going to cost some money. Even if you want maybe something not that luxurious, it still costs a bit of money. Obviously, if you want a good chair, if you want a good table, if you want computers, that is going to cost something. It's still cheap compared to other businesses where you have a lot more costs in rent, investing in properties and materials and stuff like that, and inventory. So from that point of view, it's on the low side. But yeah, computers add up, and maintaining them and buying new ones eventually, it does add up. Alrighty. Well, next week we have new webinars. Take a look at the schedule. If you have any questions, please let us know. But next week, we got weekly FX recap. Again, with looking at, for instance, euro dollar, pound dollar, AUD USD. Tuesday, trendline trading. Wednesday, strategy. Wednesday evening, price action trading school, I think part 4 or 5, Fibonacci retracement and expansion. And next week, same time, same place, we're going to take a look at intermarket correlations, FX, and equities. Lineup of next week. Alrighty, I don't see any questions, so wish you all good trading. Thanks for being here. Please, by all means, invite your friends and family to come as well. We gladly see as many as that want to join. And thank you, Laura, for that. Wish you all a good evening and many pips. Cheers, everyone.